What's up everybody, Jeffrey McAvoy here. I'm so happy to be back and so glad to see you guys. It has been quite a while. Do bear in mind that I churn out these videos on my spare time, which happens to be scarce lately. My patrons already know why. I will tell you guys in due course. I finally have some time to go wheeling with this bad boy once again. I did lose quite a bit of confidence due to what happened last time. But anyway, since then it's spent the winter outside pretty much, and the front brake on the left has completely seized, which is quite a problem. Brakes are an interesting thing to have. I did produce a video about the maintenance on the rear brakes and on how to adjust the brakes generally speaking, but right now I need to replace the brake hydraulics on the front. So this is what this video is going to be about. Let me just switch into my wrenching attire, because obviously I don't do that dressed like this, most definitely. Quick shout out to my good friend Vincent, who gave me this t-shirt about a quarter of a century ago. Vince, I still have it, so thanks. Another quick thing about the channel, there has been a bit of a change in my vehicle ownership. I sadly sold my BMW 530i with the V8. You know, I can't keep them all, sadly, and I bought something else. So that's another whole series coming along in the pipeline. Trust me, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So, enough babbling. Let's get into the brake hydraulics of this mighty Pinzgauer. I hope this video is useful to you. If it is, leave me a comment. Always let me know that it's interesting to you. It does help, and I'll be catching you all later. Peace out, everybody. Goodbye. Now that the brake shoes are off, you have to undo this union, and there's the same on the underside down there. Now, it's quite important that you use the right tools for the job. Now, here's just a regular spanner, and here is the special spanner for, what are they called? Flared spanners. For brake unions, so definitely use that and nothing else. Now, it's a good idea to break the unions, so to speak, while the parts are still on the car. It makes things that much easier. And pay close attention to what's happening here. Right now, I'm locking it. As you can see, as I untighten, the line here is coming along with it, which is not a good thing. If I were to continue to twist, it would just end up twisted and breaking, so you definitely want to sort that out. This takes patience, lots of it. Now, heat is going to help us. Very carefully apply heat to the line, bearing in mind that it's full of brake fluid and that it is flammable. So do be careful. That should do. give it a couple of wraps with a very light hammer to hopefully release the tension, and it's not working. So WD-40 is the mechanic's best friend. Nope. Okay, try something else. Nope, not gonna work. Okay, so we're just going to leave the WD-40 to soak and do the other union. See what happens with that one. I already got this one around the back. That one's loose, which is a good thing to start with. So, okay. I have a plan. And I don't know if you can see it. Look at the attention to detail. These bolts are knurled. That's fascinating to see how far they take the quality of their builds. I mean, who does that? Knurled wheel cylinder bolts, so you can actually unscrew them by hand. This is fantastic. This is why I love this vehicle. It's one of my favorites. Because military vehicles, as those of you who own them know, have been built to be easily serviced, maintained, what have you. So it is very enjoyable. And here it comes. Come on, a little more. There we go. And oh, come on, please work. Ah, there we go. Bit of a fiddle, but here it is. So I took them off as an assembly. Now, now that the tension has been released, there we go, I should be able to work these free. And oh, that one's pretty stuck. So, okay. Off to the workbench. Yes, the workshop looks like a bomb site. I'm not too proud of that. But anyway, we're going to do our best to try and salvage all of this. So I'm going to have to, there we go, get the bleed nipple out and salvage it. I'll tell you why in a moment, but I'm pretty sure this is something that I have to do. So I'll just put that there. And now, now comes a time where we need to really free up the, hang on, let me just pour that over here. That's more fluid than I was expecting. Silly me. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just going to prop this in the vise. I'm just going to give it a whiz with a genuine blowtorch. There we go. It's actually down here that it's seized. Okay, that's enough. We don't want to melt the thing. So give it a few sharp taps. Now this actually gets the metal ringing, as it were, and does help to break the crustiness of the rust away. So that definitely helps on that front. Now not quite on the rest. So WD-40, here we go, a little squirt of that. I'll let that do its thing. So I'm gently, ever so gently, trying to work this free. And there we go. It's freeing up, I can feel it. There you go. Can you see? I'm starting to get a little more freedom of movement. Now, ever so progressively, just keep increasing. There we go. And we're free. We are free. I want to break free. I want to break free. So that's one of them done. Nice. Give it a tiny little bit of squirt of WD-40 in its face, just to help it. There we go. Beautiful. And we have successfully managed to free the brake pipe union. So that's how you're supposed to do it, really. That's my take on it, and it has worked every single time, except in one or two very rare case scenarios where it didn't. But genuinely speaking, this is the way it goes. Voila. And hello. There we go. Free. I'm free. I am free. Damn it, there's brake fluid all over the place. Shit. Okay, so let's get the new parts sorted out. This is still very hot. There we go. Marvelous. Beautiful. Now that we're ready for the rebuild, here is the parts that you're going to need. Now it's important to note that the wheel cylinders are sided, so we have a left one and we have a right one. Well, we have two of each, of course. So this is the printout of the label of my order. And so it does say that it is for the left, right here. Now, I haven't opened them yet. Let's see what we get. So the usual packing paper, greasy paper. Oh, there we go, that's beautiful. Beautiful. There it is. Brand spanking new. So you're going to have to keep your adjuster and replace it if needed. But there we go. Beautiful. On with the show. So as expected, even though you buy a pair of these, one of them requires the bleed nipple. So I had to salvage this one from the previous fitment. Very important to note that these, you have to unblock this, most likely. Hello, focus. Have to unblock this and make sure that it runs free. And it's worth mentioning that these little caps, if they are missing, are really worth placing. You just slip it on over here and come on. Just slip it on over here and place the cap once you have done your bleeding and you're sure that water and mud and whatnot will not impede or go and fill it up or whatever. Okay, so on with the rebuild. As I prepare for the rebuild, I'm going to coat all the bolts and hardware in this Castrol high temperature grease. It says so here. Extreme high temperature. It's the stuff that we use in wheel bearings and chassis operating at high temperatures. I cleaned all the bolts, wire brushed them with the wire brush fitment on the pillar drill, and I'm just going to smear them all in grease. And that's all I'm going to do to them. Just going to do them all like this. You may of course use copper grease if you're more comfortable with that. I know for sure that this grease that I'm using here is perfect for the job. And I had to salvage the adjusters as well, which I've cleaned and I will be greasing right now. There we go, and grease that liberally. There we go, it's going to be fine. Now before I place this back with the little metal plate, I am going to smear some grease over here as well to prevent it from sticking. That is for sure. Push that shit out. There we go, I thought I did, I didn't. And some grease in here. There we go. Then I will grease the little metal plate. Just a thin skim of the stuff, just to prevent it oxidizing. It will also act, most likely, as a seal to prevent water from coming in. Now I can just place this back where it's supposed to be, just for good measure. I'll smear a bit of grease here as well. Remember, this is high temperature grease, very important. Place that on there. I will already fit the bleed nipple. I will grease the outside of this only to prevent water from coming in. I will already tighten it more or less, 12 mil. There we go. It's tight and I can fit it. There we go, just slides into place beautifully. There we go. Just slip these in. There we go. Fitting beautifully. Forgot to remove the dirt over here. There we go, making sure that the washer seats square and not on dirt. Very important. Nip them up like that and be satisfied. Okay, fantastic. On with the other one. Remember these flat areas as well? They definitely need a tiny, tiny, tiny smear of the stuff as well. I talked about this in the previous maintenance video. These little rubber caps, like dust caps or whatnot, are good to save because you can use them to block pipes, for example, like so, which is extremely useful. It avoids dirt and grit and whatever entering these. There you go. Make sure that the union is properly clean. I will smear a tiny, tiny bit of grease on the tip of it and remove any excess grease. Why? Because grease like so is absolutely not compatible with brake fluid. Absolutely not. Out of the question. So be mindful of that. I will also add some grease into the fixture here for the adjuster so it can rotate freely. Very important, crucial in fact. Remove any excess that might have been pushed out. Extremely important as well. Click, there we go, perfect. Wonderful. Now, to reinstate this wonky part. It's supposed to go like so, with the little squiggly bit goes on the underside. So it's quite all right to use the open-ended spanner to nip it up. There we go. And upon arriving to the end of the thread, use the box end spanner or you know, whatever. Use the spanner. Nip that up. Very good. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how we replace the wheel cylinders on the Pinzgauer. I hope you found this video interesting. Now all that's left to do is to put the brake shoes back on and proceed to adjusting after having bled the system. That's all.